Don't forget the doc. Several network participants recently called into Dr. Rick Wright's Old School Sundays radio show. Check this out.
How you doing, GK?
GK in the house on Dr. Rick Wright's show. Yo, Dr. Rick, I'm just got out of church, got my blessing, and I'm going on with the rest of my day, brother.
You know what, George? I want to let everybody in the incredible world of radio to know that you got an atomic engine inside your body, man. You gotta have an atomic engine in your body that was developed at Oak Ridge, Tennessee, man, when they developed the atomic bomb, man, because I'm telling you, on radio early in the morning on News Radio 570 WSYR, then I'll see you walking all through the studios here of Power 106.9 Clear Channel Radio, man. And you're doing Hot 170. What, Teen Talk show?
In fact, we're doing Teen Talk tonight, 107.9 at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Live, taking the calls from the teenagers. And Nina Wright up at OCC and a couple of the young people who host the show every week will be there to answer questions about relationships that teenagers are engaged in. The nice thing about that I love about doing Teen Talk is that it helps me with my teenagers, and it also gives me an opportunity to find out what young people are going through. And our young people, Dr. Rick, and you talk about this, and we hear about this so much.
Yes.
Our young people are hungry for leadership. They're hungry for relationships. And you can see this reflected in some of the ways in which young people begin to act out. So we've got a place for them to talk out those issues tonight on 107.9, where they can really get advice from teenagers, and we also have obviously trained counselors who give advice. That show's been on, believe it or not, Rick, I think it's almost 30 years, over 25 years at least. I know it's been on over 25 years.
Oh, they still there a long time. It was on another competing radio station,
we don't know nothing about it. We know where it's winning, though.
It's winning. Hot 107.9, our sister station here at Clear Channel Radio. But, George, I tell you, yes, you got Atomic Engine is what I'm saying, because, look, that's 7 o'clock, right, on WSYR radio. And what's that? That show is late night at 10 o'clock. It's on a Sunday there, man. It's just a typical day in the life of the king of all media, the superstar of the Omega Sci-Fi fraternity, George Kilpatrick.
Well, Dr. Rick, we just try to, here's the thing. You know what? I want to do what I can to be a positive influence on young people in this community. As you know, we need to promote as many positive black male images as we can in this community. And if I can be one of those voices, the work that I do will not be in vain. And that's how I feel about it. And so I'm just happy to be able to, and I don't have to do this every week, but tonight is just one of those. I got a double header tonight, actually a triple header today, Dr. Rick.
Well, I tell you what, you're on Channel 24. Every time I turn it on, there's George Kilpatrick fundraising. Hey, tell us about your new show on Channel 24.
For that, for many years, Central Issues has been on for 13 years on WCNY, and for 12 of those years, Dan Cummings, my great colleague over at News Channel 9, has been the host. And for many of those years, I've been the producer. Probably about 8 of those 13 years, I've been the producer. And so Dan Cummings and I worked alongside each other for all those times. I loved working with Dan. He's a great talent in this community. And this year, his schedule changed such that he's no longer able to do the show. So, I stepped in, and now I'm the host of Central Issues, where we're going to talk about what is happening in the community and make sure that all voices are heard. If you have an issue that really needs to get discussed, I'm available. Call me up at WCNY or Central Issues at WCNY.org. And we want to talk about what matters most to you all across the board. And one of the things, and we're also going to be trying to get into some of the statewide communities. We're going to have a contributor from Albany on occasion. And we'll be doing that live by our Interconnect through the public television Interconnect. So we'll be doing that. But most importantly, the community will get to see one of their own representing the broad range of issues that are affecting what's going on locally, and even taking some of the national issues and representing them locally. So we got a new image, new set, new new graphics, all of that to represent the change over for Central Issues. But I've been long associated with that show. I'm just stepping from behind the camera on that show and in front of the camera. Now, you know what? They say, Rick, the Lord giveth and the Lord what?
Take it away.
So, if you're looking for me on Food for Thought, we have ended that show as of February the 20th, our last show. We did that show for almost 2 years. And actually, we did, you know what? We got to do it in terms of broadcast longevity. We did 400 shows, Dr. Rick, of that particular show. So I continue on in a different way at WCNY. And also every night, Dr. Rick, you talk about the atomic engine, every night at about 10 minutes or so to 7, about 6:56 p.m. Eastern Time, you will see your boy as the host of the Central New York Business Minute, top business headlines every day on WCNY, in cooperation with our good friends at the Central New York Business Journal. You'll see me doing that every day, 6:56 p.m. Eastern Time, just before the news hour. So, brother, yeah, I'm still working.
Well, George, I tell you got an atomic engine inside of you, and thank you so much for checking in with Dr. Rick Wright on my show, Old School Sunday, here at Power 106.9. Better yet, our show, man. What I'm talking about, my show, y'all's show. This is your show.
Dr. Rick, I just want to say a big shout out to your WSYR fans because they love you on 570. I tell you that much.
Oh, I'm loving it, man. Just having a whole lot of fun every Sunday in the world of radio. Well, George, let me see. The phones are blowing up here, man. I got a bunch of more folk I'm going to get to, but thank you so much for calling up, all right?
Dr. Rick, love you, man. Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
Purple and gold. By the way, the Deltas had a big party last night in the Sheraton, man, and there are a lot of visiting Omega Psi Phi brothers checking things out, man, and it looked like Hollywood in the world-famous Sheraton on the campus of Syracuse University last night. All that red and white, man, the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Okay, George, I'll check you later, man.
Dr. Rick.
Showtime, time to dance.
All right, so get to all the Syracuse University alums throughout the world. Checking out Dr. Rick Wright, Power 106.9, Old School Sunday. On a big bad Sunday afternoon, Dr. Rick Wright live and well in Syracuse here at Power 106.9 Radio. Do it.
The network reminds you that you too may call into Dr. Rick Wright on Sundays between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check in with the doc at area code 315-428-1069. Don't forget the doc.